Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Keith. This is Crypto Bullseye, and this is going to be an update on Algorand. Before we get into the TA on Algorand, I want to show you a quick clip from a couple of days ago with my Algorand video because we'd had the breakout. That's where I was interested. It was a volatile break. We'd hit a resistance point. We had a doji candle. The doji candle was telling us that was a sticking point. We expected a pullback. Where did we expect a pullback? To the previous resistance to flip support. So we had a buy zone in the previous video. I'm going to show you a quick clip before we get into the TA and what I'm looking for going forward as far as extensions are concerned. Why does that matter? Risk to reward, guys. Let's have a look. Your risk to reward. So if you're taking it here, where's the previous low? Down here. Where's the previous high? Up here, if you're going for the candle close. Up here, if you're going for the extreme high. What is that? That's a 1.54 risk to reward. So you've got a 1.54 risk to reward. If you're shooting for the previous high, which is conservative, that's a trade, guys. Now, how can you improve a trade? You're waiting for a pullback. You can see that we're exhausted. What does this candle represent? That is a doji candle. That is an indecision candle. That's showing that the bulls have pushed up and there's a likely pullback. Where is the likely pullback going to be, guys? This is the area. This was the resistance. You would expect that to come as support. So as price comes back down here, entry zones 0.2454 to 0.25. So that is exactly what happened. And that is exactly what happened to the T. That was the buy zone from the last video. That's the area that got hit. That's where we got a bounce. And now we're getting a push back to the upside. So does it mean I'm a genius? I'm definitely not a genius, guys. It's a game of probabilities. We had so much weight behind us. We had so much confluence saying that this was going to be a strong support. We were going to hold a higher low. We were expecting a break. And that's exactly how we wanted to play that. So the first things first, we had the stochastic. That was oversold down here. This was our first clue. We were oversold, and we were oversold at a key area. That key area, my friends, was the 61.8% retracement, the golden 61.8. So we had a reaction at the 61.8. Look at that, bounce exactly from that. Now, then we look for further clues. We look at candlesticks. You get a lot of clues within candlesticks, and you can tell here, we rejected at this point the 200 moving average. We kissed the 61.8. So we got a bit of a bounce off the 61.8, which was met by a full-bodied bullish engulfing candle, which took out the previous 2 days of price action. And then we had the doji, a pullback. Where did we have a pullback to? The area that we needed to reclaim as support. 200 moving average, textbook. Then we got the bounce. Then the previous video, we were here. We got a doji candle. I'd said we expected a rejection at this point. We were expecting a sell wall at this point. We expected to pull back to reclaim another area, guys. It's all about reclaiming areas as support. We reclaimed this area, which was previous resistance. That was where I got my buy zone from. So there was a lot of different things that were measuring up at the same time to say that we were going to get a bullish break. Now, what about projections? We're going to do hidden pivot level. So get rid of these fibs. That was the retracements. We're now looking at extensions. So what I'm doing is I'm getting my trend-based fib extension. I'm going from this swing low to the swing high and then back to the swing low, understanding that that is the higher low as far as probabilities are concerned. So what we're looking for is a 1272 extension on this. And the 1272 extension sat all the way up here. The 1272 extension is 45 cents, 0.4591. You've got your 1-to-1 equal measure move sat up here at 40 cents. Price action's currently trading at 27 cents. So that's what I'm expecting as a big push up to the upside. So have we got any rejection levels here first? Let's just do a retracement tool from its high this time to its low. You can see we've broke the 38.2. The next resistance point is going to be the 29 cents. 30 cents is going to be a bit of a barrier. You can see clues look left on 30 cents. That was rejection. So you've got rejection there at 30 cents as well. So we've got a few barriers to overcome. Indicators are telling us, what are the indicators telling us? We are overbought. This is fine. This is fine. We need to cool off. So let's cool off and make sure when we do cool off that we put in a higher low. If we put in a higher low when we're cooling off, we're coiling up and we're taking back these key levels. Once you start breaking back these key levels, you'll see volume getting less and volume getting less. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a fixed range volume profile on there and see exactly where we are and what's fair value in Algorand as far as this swing's concerned. Just tidy the chart up and then trend-based fib, fixed range volume indicator all the way from the low to the high to where price action is now. You can see, look, guys, you can see this is the resistance barrier. This is the sell wall. This here is the biggest area of traded volume at 0.2862 cents. So once we get a break and once we get a close, and you can see why this is a sell wall here, then you're going to start getting bigger projections. So for me, now I want to reclaim this level as support. That level, 28 cents. It's no good getting it at resistance. When you're at resistance, you expect a pullback. We talked about that in the last video. We talked about what happens when you do get a pullback. If you take an entry on a break that's a volatile break, patience is the key. We needed a pullback. That's exactly what happened. It means you bring your risk down, you increase your reward, and it means you diminish your risk overall when you put your stop loss at break even. So these are all tips, guys, understanding when you're putting in higher lows, keep putting your projections higher, keep putting your stop losses higher, and then ride it as the swings go up. So I'm waiting here, guys. I want a break of this between 0.2854 and 0.2824, a break of that to reclaim this area as support. And once that area is reclaimed as support, I see it's putting his new local highs in on Algorand. We went through the projections. That's what I'm expecting for the projections. So let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next. And guys, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.